Tensions are rising on the southern border after new video shows Texas troopers arresting migrants at a public park.
And 3 immigration bills passing in the Texas House. One of them would allow police officers to arrest migrants.
The collaboration and coordination that is needed is not only among federal, state, and local officials.
In Texas, passing a strict new immigration bill, it authorizes police officers to arrest migrants.
Just get a better understanding of exactly how this Operation Lone Star works.
50 soldiers have been now sent in support of Operation Lone Star.
One thing to understand is that Operation Lone Star is a comprehensive border strategy because the federal government has failed to take any type of action or have a strategy.
Texas border arrests. The state of Texas has launched a significant effort, dubbed Operation Lone Star, aimed at bolstering border security. As part of this initiative, Texas troopers have arrested over 10,000 migrants on criminal trespassing charges. This operation unfolds amidst ongoing controversies surrounding Senate Bill 4, which proposes granting state law enforcement the authority to arrest, detain, and prosecute migrants suspected of illegally crossing into the U.S. Furthermore, SB 4 could empower state judges to mandate the return of migrants to their countries of origin. These developments underscore the intensified efforts by Texas to address the challenges posed by unauthorized immigration. Abdul, a 32-year-old political activist from West Africa, found himself unexpectedly detained in a remote Texas jail on local trespassing charges after crossing the U.S.-Mexico border. In March, Texas will enact legislation allowing law enforcement to arrest migrants who enter the state illegally, with local judges granted the authority to order their deportation. This new law follows a smaller-scale operation initiated 2 years prior, which aimed to apprehend migrants for trespassing. However, despite its objectives, there is scant evidence indicating that the operation effectively curbed illegal crossings. The effectiveness of such arrests in deterring immigration remains questionable, particularly as Texas prepares to expand law enforcement's powers to apprehend migrants for illegal entry. Civil rights organizations have contested the constitutionality of the new law, viewing it as an undue infringement on federal immigration authority. The Justice Department has signaled its intent to challenge the legislation, threatening legal action unless Texas reconsiders its implementation. Since 2021, Texas authorities have arrested nearly 10,000 migrants on misdemeanor trespassing charges. Governor Greg Abbott has characterized this as part of an arrest and jail strategy, wherein border landowners enter agreements with the state to authorize trespassing arrests, facilitating law enforcement's apprehension of migrants crossing through these properties.
National Guard have taken over the area, and they're refusing orders from the Biden administration to let U.S. border agents in.
Really enforce border laws that are under the jurisdiction of the federal government.
Heating up once again, troopers are now arresting migrants for the first time since the state actually took control of that park.
The implications of these actions extend beyond legal and constitutional concerns to encompass broader debates surrounding immigration policy and border enforcement. Proponents argue that robust measures are necessary to secure the border and uphold the rule of law. They contend that allowing state authorities to intervene in immigration enforcement complements federal efforts and addresses gaps in border security. Critics, however, raise ethical and humanitarian concerns, highlighting the potential for abuse and discrimination in the targeting of migrants. They argue that punitive measures fail to address underlying issues driving migration, such as economic instability and violence in migrants' countries of origin. Moreover, they caution against the erosion of constitutional protections and the potential for racial profiling inherent in aggressive immigration enforcement measures. The clash between state and federal authorities underscores the complexities of immigration governance in the United States. It reflects broader tensions between states' rights and federal authority, particularly in areas where jurisdictional boundaries overlap. As states assert greater autonomy in immigration enforcement, questions arise regarding the division of powers and the extent to which states can legally intervene in matters traditionally within the purview of the federal government.
just get a better understanding of exactly how this Operation Lone Star works.
50 soldiers have been now sent in support of Operation Lone Star.
One thing to understand is that Operation Lone Star is a comprehensive border strategy because the federal government has failed to take any type of action or have a strategy.
Immigration arrests analysis. The surge in arrests of migrants on criminal trespassing charges in Texas has triggered constitutional challenges, particularly regarding alleged violations of due process. Additionally, landowners have voiced concerns, with some demanding that authorities cease trespassing arrests on their properties, asserting that no permission was granted for such actions. Governor Abbott had expressed optimism about the effectiveness of trespassing arrests in deterring unauthorized border crossings. However, despite the implementation of these measures, the number of crossings has continued to rise, surpassing 1.5 million in the past fiscal year.
One of the toughest immigration bills in Texas is set to take effect this week, but not without some challenges. Senate Bill 4, which
Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito extended an order blocking the law from going into effect.
Sheriff Tom Schmerber of Maverick County, where many arrests have occurred, confirmed the ongoing influx of migrants, highlighting the persistent challenges faced by law enforcement along the Texas-Mexico border. In response to the evolving situation, Governor Abbott has hinted at potential changes to the enforcement approach, suggesting a shift towards pursuing illegal entry charges statewide. This adjustment reflects a broader strategy aimed at bolstering border security and challenging federal immigration policies. Operation Lone Star, Abbott's ambitious border mission, has encompassed various initiatives, including the deployment of National Guard members, transportation of migrants to Democratic-led cities, and the installation of physical barriers along the border. The visible presence of law enforcement personnel and the implementation of stringent measures underscore the magnitude of Texas's border enforcement efforts. However, critics, including Texas state lawmaker Victoria N., have raised concerns about potential racial profiling and argue that determining legal status should remain within the purview of the federal government. Governor Abbott has countered these criticisms, emphasizing the diverse origins of migrants and denying that the legislation targets any specific race or ethnicity.
with skepticism by the High Court. Over the weekend, hundreds of protesters in Austin, Texas, rallied at the front of the state capitol.
Our top story now this morning, SB 4, the controversial Texas immigration enforcement law.
Texas law enforcement could begin arresting and deporting people who cross the border illegally.
Policies and controversies. President Biden's approach to immigration policies has sparked controversy, with critics alleging that his administration's measures have created a free-to-slay environment by granting immunity from deportation to undocumented immigrants. This contention has fueled legal disputes between the Biden administration and Texas over immigration laws, particularly concerning the legality of Senate Bill 4. As Texas braces for the potential enactment of SB 4, tensions rise, leading to protests and legal challenges. Proponents of the law view it as a necessary deterrent against illegal immigration, while opponents express concerns about its potential infringement on civil rights and the strain it imposes on law enforcement resources, especially in rural areas. Abdul's encounter with law enforcement highlights the real-life consequences of these policies. Arrested in Shelby Park on charges of trespassing, Abdul's journey to American soil on the 4th of July marked a significant moment. Despite his desperation to leave jail, he pleaded guilty to trespassing, a charge that carries a maximum sentence of a year in jail. The fate of individuals arrested for trespassing on the border remains uncertain. Kristen Etter, an attorney representing numerous migrants facing trespassing charges, indicated that many clients are allowed to stay and seek asylum. This raises questions about the efficacy of such arrests as a deterrent, with some arguing that they may inadvertently attract more migrants seeking to surrender to authorities. The Texas Department of Public Safety spearheads the trespassing arrests as part of the broader border operation. According to spokesperson Erica Miller, The operation has resulted in over 37,000 criminal arrests, including individuals involved in gang activities, human trafficking, and other illicit activities. Miller contends that the state's presence at the border sends a clear message to potential border crossers, deterring illegal entry into the country. However, the approach has faced criticism and scrutiny at the local level. Mayor Ronaldo Salinas of Eagle Pass initially authorized trespassing charges on park grounds to address a surge in migrant crossings, but faced backlash from the community. While he ultimately reinstated the authorization, Salinas acknowledges the strain on local law enforcement and the necessity of additional personnel to maintain peace in the city. State Representative David Spiller, the author of the newly enacted arrest law, acknowledges the challenges posed by trespassing prosecutions. While he believes such measures help mitigate border crossings, he acknowledges the limitations, including increased prosecutorial workload and the non-deportable nature of trespassing offenses under federal law.
Tensions are rising on the southern border after new video shows Texas troopers arresting migrants at a public park.
And 3 immigration bills passing in the Texas House. One of them would allow police officers to arrest migrants.
The collaboration and coordination that is needed is not only among federal, state, and local officials.
In Texas, passing a strict new immigration bill, it authorizes police officers to arrest migrants.
Abdul's story reflects the uncertainty and challenges faced by many migrants seeking refuge in the U.S. After his release, he found temporary shelter in New York City, awaiting the resolution of his case. His aspirations for education and a better future underscored the resilience and determination of individuals navigating the complexities of the immigration system. That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.